Estimating budgetary needs begins with estimating costs for all activities in the project. The estimates are realistic but approximated for each activity. The cost estimates are made for individual work packages in the work breakdown structure. It is generally recommended that the estimates should be made by people who do the work. However, project managers should ensure these adhere to project needs. The project manager and the team decide on the level of estimation or degree of certainty. The project manager and the team can make independent assessments from the market or can use published industry rates, if any. The assumptions, risks, and resource availability are to be considered while arriving at an estimate. All possible cost-effective alternatives should be explored before arriving at decisions. Most important one is deciding which estimation technique should be used. Organizational tolerance limits should be considered. Suitable contingency reserves buffers should be provided. Finally, cost baseline should be established. There are 5 types of project costs. First is direct costs. The direct costs are directly linked to the project work. For example, hiring contractors and buying software licenses. The second type is indirect costs. Indirect costs are shared and allocated among several or all projects. Examples include fringe benefits and taxes. Another example of indirect costs can be the salary of an architect or a project manager who takes care of multiple projects. Thirdly, we have the fixed costs. Fixed costs are costs that do not change throughout the project lifecycle. Examples of fixed costs include setup costs, rental costs, and other related costs. Next are variable costs. Variable costs change with the amount of work involved in a project. Examples are hourly labor, the cost of material, the cost of supply, fuel for bulldozers, etc. Lastly, we have sunk costs. These have already been incurred, which means money has already been spent. These costs are not considered in business cases, but they are essential to know about. An example can be cost incurred in R&D for a product conceptualization. The cost estimates include direct labor, materials, equipment, facilities, services, information technology, contingency reserves, indirect costs. Accuracy of estimates. Generally, the accuracy of estimates vary with the techniques used, organizational estimation practices, and the tolerance limits of stakeholders and the project's needs. Based on the level of accuracy, estimates can be of 2 types. Rough order of magnitude estimate is the first type. The accuracy level is between -25% to +75%, and the second type is definitive estimate. The accuracy level is between -5% to +10%. Projects with high degrees of uncertainty, or where the scope is not yet fully defined, may not benefit from the detailed cost calculations due to frequent changes. Lightweight estimation methods can be used to generate a fast, high-level forecast of project labor costs, which can then be easily adjusted to upcoming changes. In cases where high variability projects are also subject to strict budgets, the scope and schedule are more often adjusted to stay within cost constraints.